Namaste. Prayers and meditations. Today we read a prayer dated January 24th, 1914. It's a very touching prayer. Often there is a question that we must ask ourselves: who am I? What is my ultimate truth? And it is said that depending on the answer that we give, everything will change. It is so true. There are few questions we must ask every day. One is, who am I? Second is, where I have come from? And the third is, where I am going. It doesn't matter where you are standing. That's not important. We are too much preoccupied with where I am standing. Where am I going? That's an important question. These three questions we know. T.S. Eliot, famous question he had asked when he was sitting on a countryside and it started raining. So he went to a nearby house of a patient and asked him, I need some shelter. And the patient asked him three questions. Who are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? So he told, and he was happy, he gave him some place. Those days, huh? Now we won't give place like that. But the beauty is, whole night he kept thinking, is this the correct answer? Who am I? I am Dr. So and so. I am Mr. So and so. Am I a surname? Am I a religion? You see that famous song, Bulla ke jana mein kaun? Who am I? Based on our answer, everything shifts. If I am a limited personality, the body, then our responses will be very different. If I am the mind, then responses will be very different. If I am a soul immortal, responses will be very different. And the highest is that I am a portion of the divine, then the response to life is very different. So that is how we need to meet the challenges of life. Where I have come from? I have come from the womb of my mama. Or where am I coming from? We say I am coming from Indore, Tamil Nadu, Odisha. Gone. Where I am coming from? The original answer. I am coming from the womb of the one from whom stars are born, billions of stars and galaxies. Just imagine the power of that answer. I am coming from the one from whose womb billions of stars are born, the very Milky Way, galaxies have emerged. Even if death is standing in front of you, you will say, okay, bhaiya, theek hai, aapse nahi banga lenge. I am not going to mess with you. Why? Because you know your origin. How can anything mess with you when you live that truth? So where do I come from? Where are you going? I am going to meet the eternal. Oh, is it? Yes, I have an appointment with him. Let's see what force can oppose you permanently. If you keep in the heart always this aspiration that is the goal. That's why it is said, never forget the goal. Everything else is coming on the way. But the moment you remember that this is my goal, then everything becomes a path. And if that is forgotten, then we may be right sitting in a temple, but there is no path because we are looking here and there. Who is singing the bhajan? Who is not singing the bhajan? Sometimes we see that it is very nice. Then they should, makdi ka jala hai yahan. Cobwebs are there. So that's how we are leading a life. But the day we know that, well, where am I going? I am going to meet the eternal. Now it is said in the one of the scriptures of a certain religion, when you take one step to move towards God, God takes 1,000 steps to come near you. Somebody had told this to me long back, that this is the saying in Sufi literature. So of course I had given an answer, this is wrong. He said, what do you mean? It is wrong. I said, actually when God takes 1,000 steps, then we take one step. He is the one who initiates the process. Oh, acha, that is not how it is written. I said, yes, but I am telling you. The fact is, he who chooses the infinite has been chosen by the infinite. First he makes a choice. So this prayer, O thou, how she is addressing the divine. Not a God of a religion, but far beyond anything we can conceive. O thou who art the sole reality of her being. O sublime master of love, the way there are people who have painted even the divine in image of strict disciplinarian who are, as if the divine had no business but to take a rod in one hand and a carrot in another. So divine says, oh my God, I have to become like this. Mother says, you don't know how important is faith. As is your faith, even the Gita says, as is your faith, so I receive them and reveal myself to them. So Mother says, if you believe that the divine is cruel, he will have to come to you in that form because it is necessary for your progress. Why does he listen to us? But if you believe that he is full of love, always, why won't he? He will protect you, save you, he'll lift you out 10,000 times if you fall. He will be there like that. It is not that it is painful to him. He is not like a human being who will say, oh my God, you did it again. He'll say, don't worry, I'm there. Because he's all love. So here she is addressing him as master of love. Then, redeemer of life. Who is the redeemer of life when life falls? Is a term used in Hindi, pad dalit. Trampled under the feet. So what we should say if we are in that state, let the pad be your pad. Let the feet be your feet. When his feet is there, then there is no Dalit. That is how Shri Krishna says in the Gita. See, this is the teaching Indian way of redeeming. The Western way of redeeming is through social reforms. Remove a certain class. Then you make another class. Same thing, but you do it in another way. You have a corporately rich person, you have a poor person, you have white, you have black. Because that is there in human mentality. It doesn't matter where you are. Even if you are a Pad Dalit, still by remembering God, Shri Krishna says, even the most fallen one, he can climb to the higher states. And if somebody who is even most fallen, not by birth he is speaking of, but by his deeds, his evil, if he remembers God, he should be regarded as a saint. This is how Shri Krishna puts it. So why? Because he is the redeemer of life. Gautam Nari Ahilya Tari. That's Lord Rama's story. Even if you are Jadvat or you are Kubja, the ugly one, the touch of the Lord redeems. So that's where she reminds us, redeemer of life. Let me have no longer any other consciousness than of thee at every instant and in each being. So in every moment, let me always know that thou art the master of love, the redeemer of life, my sole reality. Just imagine if you just do it as a mantra. Thou art my sole reality. Lord, 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 Ma, Ma, Ma. Thou art my sole reality. Sole reality. All else is appearances. Phantasmagoria, as she puts it. There is nothing else except the one divine. It's a very powerful meditation. You don't have to sit like this. कैसे बैठे? अच्छा, spine मेरा सीधा है कि नहीं? Is my spine straight? Am I sitting on kusha grass? Am I sitting? No. The divine doesn't care. He is everywhere, in each being. In every one he is there. It is said, and we can turn it in another way. In Hindi there is a saying that when you are in love, then even Gadha appears the most handsome person. Even the donkey seems to be the most beautiful. That's how it is said. Why? Because love. And people say, yes, yes, love has painted and tainted you. So why not? If love can paint and taint a person or somebody who is worth nothing into somebody who is worth everything, that is the power of love. It releases the best in the human being. It means love has the power. Even human love can release the best in a human being. When we see a person with the eyes of love, he is no more that which we imagine or which the eyes of hard material fact will show you. It will show you God in that human being. Now, if we see the world with the eyes of God, what we can see, just imagine. So here she is saying, let me have no longer any other consciousness than of thee at every instant and in each being. And then something so beautiful. When I do not live solely with thy life, I agonize. What a difference. Here we say we can't meditate. When mother is asked, what is the true sign of meditation, visions, process, techniques? She says, no. In fact, she says the number of hours you sit into meditation is no proof of your spiritual progress. What, mother? Then the disciple asks, but a discipline is needed. Mother says, a discipline is not what we are seeking. So, mother, what is the sign of spiritual progress? When you can no longer be in a state which is not in a state of meditation. You can't help but be in that state. This is what is called by Kabir as Sahaj Samadhi. You just can't help it, because if you are not in contact with the divine, you feel the agony and pain. And that is the original pain, the pain of separation. We are so used to it. So when all of us, the original suffering is the suffering of abyss. But we try to fill it with toys, like an empty house. You fill with toys, then the toys break down. Then we bring another toy. Then those toys also go away. We bring more toys. At the end, we are the toy and we are taken away. So instead of that, to fill that abyss with the divine presence, I sink slowly towards extinction. So if we are feeling a state of deep depression, boredom, despair, that means we have cut ourselves off from the divine presence. So there are people who live in that state and they try to fill it by all kinds of excitement, false things, but ultimately you sink more and more, because there is no other way. You are missing out on the real thing. For thou art my only reason for existence. This is yoga. Yoga is not about joining a place or becoming this or doing that work. It's all external thing. The real yoga is when we say, you are the reason for my existence. Even in forest, in a jungle, with nobody around, with the most dangerous places, to say, I live for the divine, to have that thirst inside. As he says, if you have the thirst, even the extravagances of an American youth are a path. So that is the path. Path opens with the thirst. My one goal, my single support, to seek a support in none else and nothing else but the divine. The whole world is against you. But Lord, you are my support. And see how life will change and how world will change. World may not change, don't worry about it. Life will change. You will change. And then what a beautiful image she says. I am like a timid bird, not yet sure of its wings and hesitating to take its flight. Let me soar to reach definitive identity with thee. So this is a stage where she's saying, I am like a bird. I don't know where to go. I can't even spread my wings. This is a divine humility. So she's saying, I don't know my destination, I don't know my path, I have no strength in me. I have no capacity of my own. I have hardly opened my wings and I'm timid to start with. So what should I do? She says, let you be my goal. Let me soar to reach definitive identity with thee. There is all incapacities inside. And Sri Aurobindo says, doesn't matter. A person may have thousands of defects and incapacities. But if he has in his heart faith and devotion in the divine, then the divine alone does all the purification, tears the veil and takes you to the destination. So all that is needed is not that you need capacity to do yoga. If there is capacity, very good, put it at divine service. What is needed is the ardent will to reach there. And if that will is there, then we are sure to reach. Even a timidest of bird can reach at the feet of the Lord. I'm reminded of one line passage from Savitri. Let me close with that. We'll just read that passage. It's beautiful. When Savitri is being described, since we spoke about a timid bird, that is then. Now, what is Savitri? Is the Divine Mother. Then she has grown through that entire process. And she herself becomes the sanctuary of delight where timid birds like us will like to go. So, as might a soul fly like a hunted bird, perfect answer to our problems. As might a soul fly like a hunted bird, escaping with tired wings from a world of storms. Corona was chasing, now vaccine is chasing. And between the virus and the vaccine, the government is chasing. On top of it, those who have to implement the orders are chasing. So, virus, vaccines, government, everybody is chasing. This is a state, no? So the answer. As might a soul fly like a hunted bird, escaping with tired wings from a world of storms, and a quiet reach like a remembered breast, in a haven of safety and splendid soft repose. Where is that haven? They have closed. There also you have to go quickly and come. No, don't worry. There is a haven inside. In a haven of safety, the perfect refuge. Nothing can touch if we are at the feet of the divine. 2000% sure. Some people say, oh, the person was, a devotee. It's not about being devotee. All this idea that you are registered in a center, you are an ashram inmate, forget all this. There is nothing like a qualified devotee. What is important is to take refuge in the divine. That's all that is required. In a haven of safety and splendid soft repose. How he could, change the laws of nature. The divine can change for the sake of those who love him. One could drink life back in streams of honey fire. Morning you woke up, you got a phone call. Did you take the vaccine? Oh God, a good morning message. Then you go to the office, there again, you are a threat to everybody. Then WhatsApp message comes, danger, danger, danger. Then you open the TV, there comes the number and figures. Kaha jaye ma? Where do we go? So here we go. One could drink life back in streams of honey fire, recover the lost habit of happiness. These people are doing a lot of good to us. They are reminding us, go back to mother. They are the ones who are helping. Great helpers on the way. Go to mother. You thought that we are your friends and we are the ones. No, mother. So once we discover it, life is beautiful. Feel her bright nature's glorious ambience and preen joy in her warmth and colors rule. So mother, what qualification is required to come to you? Do I have to register my name in the prosperity list? Mother, do I have to work in a certain department? How many hours, mother? After 4 hours, can I come to you? Look at what Sri Aurobindo is writing. A deep of compassion, a hushed sanctuary. Her inward help unbarred a gate in heaven. Love in her was wider than the universe. The whole world could take refuge in her single heart. Come all, one and all. Take refuge in a single heart. Namaste.